Just want to share a little bit about the licensing process. I'm going to do just a high level overview. So our childcare licensing receives its authority to regulate childcare facilities from federal law, state statute, and the childcare administrative rules. The Child Care Development Block Grant and the Child Care Development Fund hold the federal requirements we have to follow, and we put those requirements into both our state statute and our administrative rules. You can forward. There are 3 types of childcare licenses. We have family home, group home, and a center. A family home license allows a provider to care up for 6 unrelated children in their home. A group home license allows a person to care for up to 12 unrelated children in their home. And a center license allows a person to care for unrelated children in a building that is not their home. You can forward. So the process for applying for a family and group home license is the same. You submit an application and fee online at our website to start the process. And from there, you'll receive information on what the next steps are to get licensed. There are required trainings and an orientation and inspections that have to be completed before you can be licensed. Once everything is completed, the licensing consultant will come to your home for their inspection. And if everything is set, the licensing consultant will complete a report recommending issuance of your license, and the area manager will issue it. Next slide. The process for applying for a center license starts the same as a family group, in that you submit an application and fee online from our website. There are different requirements for centers that have to be met before a license may be issued. For example, there are different staffing requirements, different inspections, and different paperwork. Once all preliminary requirements are met, the licensing consultant will come out, measure space to ensure capacity requirements are met, and if everything is satisfactory, will complete the report recommending issuance of your license, and the area manager will issue it. For all license types, the licensing consultants are there to help answer questions and help you through the process. You go forward. There are times when a family home provider wants to increase their capacity so they can care for up to 12 unrelated children. That requires a change of license, so a new application and fee must be submitted. Also, a group home requires local zoning approval, which must be submitted before a group home license can be issued. Some application material from a family home may be used for the group home if they are no more than 12 months old. Once everything is submitted, the licensing consultant will come out and inspect the home again. All new licenses, family, group, and center, our original licenses are a 6-month license. Next slide. Here's the Bureau contact information. You can find the application and the steps you need to take to get licensed on our website. If you have any questions, please call or email, and one of our central office staff will get back to you. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. All right, we will move along. And next we have child care background checks. So I will get started, and Cheryl, you start whenever you're ready.
Okay, so I'm Cheryl Gandhi from the Child Care Background Check Unit. If you are a licensed exempt provider, you've probably already been background checked. However, if you become a licensed provider, it is a different reason code that you would be pursuing for getting background checks. So we would need a new background check. However, new providers have been getting 2 free background checks. As you can see, the cost is $64.25, and there's some differences as to who is background checked by the Bureau when you become a licensed provider. Because you are providing care in your home, it would be checking all of the licensee and any adult household members and any staff you would have. Our background checks include an FBI criminal history check using a fingerprint, a Michigan State Police criminal history check with the fingerprint. From there, we get a wrap package back from Michigan State Police with a criminal history, which includes an NCIC NSOR check. And what that is basically it's a National Sex Offender Registry check. Then we also have to do a Michigan Sex Offender Registry check, a Michigan Child Abuse and Neglect Registry check, and then we do what's called a Disciplinary Action Registry check. What that is a check of our database to see if the individual had previously held a license, which would prohibit them from getting a license in the future if they had had disciplinary action taken on that license that was maybe led to the death of a child or something like that. Advance, please. We also have requirements to complete an out-of-state background check if any individual has lived out of state in the last 5 years. And those checks may include an additional criminal history check, depending on whether the state is a national fingerprint file state, and we will help you with that process. A state sex offender registry check, which we run, and a state child abuse and neglect registry check. We do have a list that can be found at the website www.michigan.gov/ccbc. And there, under the forms and resources, you can find the list of exclusionary timeframes, a quick reference guide, but it's going to be very similar to what you have as exclusions for being a licensed exempt provider. So there shouldn't be any surprises for you there.
All righty. And Cheryl, that was it for your slides, correct?
That's correct.
Okay, awesome. All right, so thank you, Cheryl. So we have next. So we have Les Smith, and he is with Child Care Homes and Radon with Eagle. So go ahead, Les, whenever you're ready.
I am ready. Thank you. Good morning, everyone. My name is Les Smith. I'm with the Michigan Department of Environment, Great Lakes and Energy, and I have a quick 30-second video to start the introduction of Radon.
Oh, sorry, guys.
A naturally occurring radioactive gas known to cause lung cancer. It doesn't matter where you live or what type of home you have. You won't even know it's there unless you test. So don't wait. Testing is cheap and easy. And if there's a problem, it's simple to fix. Visit michigan.gov/radon to learn more.
Action, will you? Okay, thank you for running the video. So I'm going to talk about real quick.
Sorry, there we go.
No worries. Why testing matters. It's important, as this came up in the previous slides, that for in-home daycare applicants, you are required to test for radon as part of your initial license application. That's a requirement under the statute there. Radon test kits, Department of Environment, Great Lakes and Energy provides radon test kits to in-home daycare applicants in our partnership with Licensing and Regulatory Affairs. And I did see in the chat that there's a link for you to apply for receiving a radon test kit. So we will make sure that that happens if you're interested in receiving one for your application. When you receive your test, you should always test the lowest livable area of your home. If you have a basement, that's where your test should be. If you don't have a basement, test livable one of the rooms, like a living room, family room, or a bedroom. We could talk more in the breakout rooms about that. Things to know is that you're looking to find out if you're below 4 picocuries per liter of for radon, because you want to make sure that you're protecting yourself and the children in your home. If the radon test comes back above 4, there's some additional testing that will be required, and possibly the installation of a radon reduction system to reduce the radon levels. Any documentation that you obtain for your radon test as a part of this application process need to be kept on file. And again, I can talk to you about more details in the breakout session. And I have our contact information at michigan.gov/radon. You can contact me at 800-723-6642, or you can email me at radon@michigan.gov. I think that's it for my slides.
All right, thank you so much. All right, let's see. So next we have fire safety, and I believe we have a quick overview for information for that too.
So good morning, everyone. I'm going to cover fire safety. The child care centers require fire safety inspections before an original license can be issued, and every 4 years at renewal. Jerry Rodabaugh is the supervisor for the fire safety unit with Lara. The fire safety unit is responsible for plan reviews, construction inspections, complaint inspections, and oversight of the qualified fire inspectors. Next slide. The process for completing a fire inspection is completed with the fire safety unit and with our qualified fire safety inspectors. The experts in that area will guide you through the process for fire safety. Thank you.
Thank you for that, Erica. All right, so next we have Jennifer Davis, and she's going to talk a little bit about Michigan AEYC and the TEACH program.
Hi, good morning. I'm Jennifer Davis, and I'm a program specialist with TEACH, which is administered by Michigan AEYC. I just want to share some general information for you about the program. So a lot of people always wonder like what TEACH actually stands for, and you could do a lot of guesses on what it might stand for, but this is kind of what it kind of comes out to. So we focus on increasing the education for teachers and compensating them. So teacher education and compensation helps. Next slide. So as I said, we really want to increase that provider education, which will increase the quality of care in a home setting or in a child care center. And then we want to increase the wages of the teachers and provide them that compensation. And we really want to reduce the turnover in the field of early childhood. Next slide. All right, so we have some eligibility requirements. So to qualify for our scholarship, you have to be working at least 20 hours a week in a licensed program. And we've changed our income requirements where you have to be under $1970 an hour, and also have to be pursuing a CDA, which is a Child Development Associate, Michigan YDA, which is a new scholarship that we are now offering. That is the youth credential. We can help support you as you're getting an associate degree or a bachelor's degree and pay for a large amount of the tuition, books, and fees for that coursework. So overall, each kind of scholarship kind of has different amounts that we can help pay for. But overall, and I can go into more details during our breakout, but we can help pay 80% up to 6 credits each semester. And we kind of go with 6 credits because you are going to be working at least 20 hours a week, going to school. You have a life outside of work as well. So kind of taking 6 credits, you know, if you're wanting a good balance, is a good amount that you could take. And this would go towards your AA or BA. We can also help support CDA training as long as it's through one of the colleges that we work with as well. And we do only support programs at a college if it's early childhood or child development. You know, you can't be on a scholarship with us if you're trying to get, you know, like a science or a math degree, but we can help support a lot of those general ed requirements that goes toward that early childhood degree, but that's the main focus for our scholarship. And then at the end of a scholarship or end of each contract that you have with us, we provide different stipends that helps bring down the costs that you'd pay to us, bonuses, a star rating stipend, and then release time if you are eligible for that. And then if you know a little bit about the CDA, you would take a lot of different courses or training for it. And then at the end of that, you would be required to do an assessment fee through the Council for Professional Recognition. And we can help pay for a large portion of that along with the MIYDA assessment fee. And then as you kind of remember at the beginning, I talked a little bit about that commitment. We really want to reduce the turnover in the field of early childhood. Something that we want to support is for those who are on scholarship to either remain in the early childhood field if you're not being sponsored by a program, or if you're being sponsored by the program. So if you're with the program and they're sponsoring you, we ask that you stay there for a year after your contract ends. But if you're under a scholarship where you are not being sponsored, we would like you to stay in the field of early childhood. And then the CDA assessment and the MIYDA is also a little bit different because we're just paying an assessment fee, but those scholarships would just be 6 months in the field of ECE. And then at the end of each contract, we provide a bonus, $300 for associates and $400 for the bachelors. And this is the annual contract, not just when you get your degree. So this would happen every year. And if you're being sponsored, you would either receive a bonus or a raise from your employer who is sponsoring you as well. And then this is just a quick little overview about Michigan AUIC. Wanted to throw one of these slides in as well. So TEACH is administered by Michigan AUIC, and Michigan AUIC does provide a lot of different professional development opportunities where we provide discounts on different conferences or events that are happening throughout the year. So this is just a quick little slide about that. You can find more information on our website about us as well. Thank you.
All righty, thank you so much, Jennifer. All right, so next we have Michigan Reconnect.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Ava Atari. I'm the program administrator for the Office of 60 by 30 within the Michigan Department of Labor and Economic Opportunity, or LEO. And I'm going to be giving an overview of the Michigan Reconnect Scholarship Program. So our Office of 60 by 30 focuses on administering programs like Michigan Reconnect and supporting policies that will help our state meet its post-secondary attainment goal, which is 60% of working age adults in Michigan with a post-secondary degree by 2030 that Governor Whitmer set in 2019 during her first State of the State address. Many jobs today require education and skills beyond a high school diploma or its equivalent, whether it's a degree or certificate. And programs like Michigan Reconnect and the TEACH Scholarship can help Michiganders to achieve their educational and career goals and access better jobs and higher wages. So what is Michigan Reconnect exactly? I'll be going through this a little bit more in detail over the next few slides, but in summary, it is a new state scholarship program that was launched in February of last year. It focuses on Michigan's adult learners 25 or older who are interested in pursuing a Pell-eligible associate degree or skill certificate at any of Michigan's public community colleges or tribal colleges, and offers free or discounted tuition depending on which institution you attend. So at the bottom of the slide is the link to the scholarship website, and I'll be going through some of the important pages that are on that website as well as I go through my slides. So there are, oh, sorry, I think so this slide, this is the list of the 28 colleges and tribal colleges that are that are eligible institutions for the scholarship program. There's a link there called List of Colleges. If you click that, that will take you to all of the eligible institutions. And we cover in-district tuition, mandatory fees, and contact hours. So I mentioned in district here, what that means is if you live within a community college district or meet their definition for being considered in district, you will be charged by the college at an in-district tuition rate. So if you qualify for other federal or state funding, that will be applied first, and then Michigan Reconnect will be applied after. If you don't qualify for other federal or state funding, Michigan Reconnect will cover the full in-district tuition rate. If you do not live within a community college district or meet the college's definition for being considered in district, you will be charged by the college at an out-of-district tuition rate. Michigan Reconnect will still pay up to the in-district tuition rate, but there will be a cost difference between the in-district tuition rate and out-of-district tuition rate that you'll be required to pay either out of pocket for, unless you qualify for other aid that can cover the difference. So I mentioned there are 2 links here that have the list of the eligible institutions. And then the second link there is calculating your costs. And that has more detailed information about what specific costs the scholarship covers and what's not covered, such as program fees, course fees, or books. Actually, if you don't mind, could you just go back 1 slide? I wanted to just run through the criteria. Thanks so much. So, oh, I guess it's missing from the slide, but I'll just mention it. There are 4 criteria that an individual must meet in order to apply and be accepted in the scholarship program. So I mentioned them briefly a second ago, but if you're at least 25 years old, have been a Michigan resident for at least a year, have a high school diploma or its equivalent, for example, a GED or certificate of completion, and have not yet earned a college degree, an associate or bachelor's degree, then we definitely encourage you to apply for the scholarship program if this is what you've been looking for. Thanks so much. You can move forward. Appreciate that. So if you're interested in participating in the scholarship program, there are some resources on our website that we would encourage you to check out. We have a frequently asked questions page, which covers a wide range of topics from funding to eligibility and next steps. We have a page dedicated to veterans and service members to provide information about additional federal resources, on-campus support, or Michigan-specific scholarships. And we also have a college checklist, which provides some additional information and resources for completing the 3 steps required to participate in the scholarship program under each of the drop-down menus that are on the college checklist page. I think there are some examples on the slide. There we go. Thanks. Oh, here's the criteria for the program. So for maintaining the scholarship, once you've applied and you have filed your FAFSA and you have enrolled in college for at least half time, then there are some requirements to actually maintain the scholarship. So you'll need to maintain Michigan residency, file your FAFSA annually, be continuously enrolled, and maintain a cumulative 2.0 GPA in the courses towards your program of study. And as long as you meet those 4 requirements, you can maintain the scholarship for at least 4 years once you've started participating in the scholarship program or until you've earned your associate degree, whichever comes first. So about 10 to 15 business days after you go on our website, submit the application, you'll know immediately if you've been accepted, but about 10 to 15 business days after you've been accepted, a navigator from our office will reach out to you to offer their services and support. So each navigator is assigned to a region and to the college or colleges within that region, and they are assigned to Reconnect applicants based on where you indicate you plan to enroll with a scholarship. Even if you're not sure where you plan to attend, or if you change your mind about where you want to enroll, we'll still connect you with the navigator and make sure you're connected with the right one. And it's not mandatory to work with one, but we know the college going process can be a lot to take on when you're already working, have a full life, and it's been some time maybe since you've gone back to school. So our navigators can help you with your required next steps with the scholarship, applying to college as well, filing the FAFSA, exploring degree programs, identifying in-demand jobs, connecting you to other services within the state and your community to help care for the other things you have going on in your life. You might have your own childcare issues, transportation, additional financial aid. You might need equipment, many other things that are all required to go back to school. So our navigators also work closely with the college or colleges that they're assigned, with the local Michigan Works Agency and other state and local partners to help you quickly get set up for success. So I did run through these already, but these are the criteria that I mentioned earlier. You've got to be at least 25 years old, a Michigan resident for at least a year, have a high school diploma or its equivalent, and then have not yet earned a college degree yet to qualify for the scholarship program. So why should you apply? It takes about 5 minutes or less to actually submit the application, and you'll know immediately if you're eligible for the scholarship program. It covers more than 6 credit hours a semester if you're interested in being more than half time. It's a blank slate program. So while there is a minimum GPA requirement while you're a Michigan resident, Michigan Reconnect participant, It doesn't include your GPA before you become a Michigan Reconnect participant. So if you've had maybe you've been to school before and you stopped out and you took a break and you didn't do so well before, it doesn't consider your GPA prior to being a Michigan Reconnect participant, only once you started. It will cover repeated courses. So if you fail a course while using Michigan Reconnect, the scholarship will continue to cover it until you pass that class. Our navigators are here to help. They hold a wealth of knowledge and expertise about how to navigate going back to school, so you don't have to do it all alone. And by taking advantage of the scholarship, you'd be making a difference for yourself and for others as well. Yes, and Teach works well with Michigan Reconnect as well. So here are the steps. And if you're interested in applying, you can go to our website, michigan.gov/reconnect. Apply online. You'll want to go to the Community College tab on the website. And then once you've been accepted, you'll want to apply and be admitted to a public community or tribal college. You'll then need to file the FAFSA and then enroll in at least a minimum of 6 credits or more towards your program of study. Awesome. Thanks so much.
Thank you so much, Ava. That was great. Alrighty, we have Christy, and she is with the Michigan's Quality Rating and Improvement System.
Good morning, everyone. So glad to be with you today and appreciate you spending your Saturday with us. My name is Christy Opsimer. I'm the Director of Systems at the Early Childhood Investment Corporation, and I support Great Start to Quality, the Quality Rating and Improvement System in Michigan. And so many of you are already a part of the quality continuum. So the first step in that is taking Great Start to Quality orientation and then continuing the ongoing training that you are all taking in my registry. And so once you become licensed, that support continues to improve your program quality. And Great Start to Quality has been around for a little bit now. The first implementation was way back in 2011, and we had some revisions in 2014. And so Great Start to Quality supports all licensed programs, including family and group homes, childcare centers, preschools, Head Starts, GSRPs, and out-of-school time programs. It's led by the Department of Education, and the Early Childhood Investment Corporation implements the program. And we've got some really exciting changes coming this fall to allow programs to feel more included in the rating process, and also to address some inequities that we found around family childcare providers. So looking forward to that. So what is Great Start to Quality? The bottom line is Great Start to Quality is a rating process so that families have tools that they need to find high quality care for their children. And so it is a 5-star program. And so families can search on our public database. It's available 24/7. And they're able to see which programs are rated and which are not to help them make those decisions. And so this is just a map of our 10 Great Start to Quality resource centers all across Michigan. Many of you, I'm sure, have been connected with them through taking Great Start to Quality orientation and some of the other trainings that you've taken. They continue to provide professional development assistance when folks are going through the rating process, technical assistance on how to do that, quality improvement consultation on some of the things that you might be interested in improving, and education and curricular supports. They have lending libraries where you can utilize curricula, books, tools for your children in your program. So lots of great resources available to you. So this is really just a basic process of how Great Start to Quality works. So in order to participate, you do have to have a profile in the registry because those two systems are connected. There's a brief application process. You take time to reflect on your program and look at some of the quality indicators. Think about the things that you're already doing and maybe some of the things that you want to work on. Go through that quality improvement planning process with on your own or with the support of a Great Start to Quality Resource Center staff if you choose. That self-assessment survey that you complete is validated. And if you choose, you can have someone come out to your program and do a little bit more assessing and looking at the environment and the interactions in your childcare program. and then you receive a published rating that is publicly displayed, as I mentioned before. So one of the new benefits of Great Start to Quality is a free membership for the Michigan Early Learning Business Advantage, or MELBA. And this is a really great resource for programs. Oh, and access to discounts and cost savings. So there's lots of opportunities with this membership to get discounts on materials, PPE, payroll services, just lots of really great resources for childcare providers on the business level, really just making sure that they have that good foundation for their business. So great opportunity there. Next slide. So some of the revisions that I wanted to share with you, because I know folks have some perceptions about Great Start to Quality and wanted to just put out in the space that we're working on making improvements to. And so we're changing some of the tools that we use to support childcare providers in assessing their programs, really thinking about the language that we use in our indicators so that it's easy to understand and that you can see yourself in the process. Providing translation interpretation for those folks that speak languages other than English, and really just simplifying the process. We know we have lots of systems and processes in Michigan, and some of them can be pretty cumbersome. And so really taking some time to simplify that process. Next slide. So here's some contact information for you to reach out, and I certainly look forward to talking in more detail with some of you in the breakout room.
All right, thank you, Christy. Thank you so much. We are going to move along, and now we have Stephanie with our Child and Adult Care Food Program.
I'm having a little technical. Good morning. Again, my name is Stephanie Schinkel. I work in the Child and Adult Food Program as a consultant. And again, thank you for sharing your Saturdays with us. Change slides, please. Thank you. The Child and Adult Care Food Program, otherwise known as the Food Program, is a federal program that provides reimbursement for nutritious meals and snacks served to children enrolled in daycare centers, family daycare homes, after-school programs, emergency shelters, Great Start to Readiness programs, and Head Start programs. The meals served must meet the meal pattern requirements. Meal pattern requirements include serving size, the type of meal of milk that's being served. Breakfast, AM snacks, lunch, afternoon snacks, and suppers are all meals reimbursed by CACFP. The maximum meal reimbursement is 2 meals, 1 snack per child per day. Over 12 million meals were served in family daycare homes in 2021. Next slide. Interested in CACFP? Here's how you apply. The provider must be approved, unlicensed, or licensed to provide daycare services. The provider must also sign a provider sponsor agreement with an eligible FDCH sponsor, and the agreement lists what you will be responsible for and what your FDCH sponsor will be responsible for. Your family daycare home sponsors provide training, conducts monitoring, assist with planning meals, and submits your request for meal reimbursement. We have 3 FDCH sponsors in Michigan, and the contact information is listed below. And I also included MDE contact information. My information is included, our website, and our email address. Thank you, and you have a great day. I'm done.
Thank you so much, Stephanie. Alrighty, we have our last presenter, Martha Vogel, and she will be talking about child development and care and some subsidy pieces.
So my name is Martha Vogel. I am part of the Child Development and Care Program, and we are housed within the Michigan Department of Education. So you hear those acronyms a lot, probably CDC and MDE. If you are already an enrolled license exempt provider, I'm sure you're familiar with the CDC program. It provides tuition assistance to parents to pay for childcare, some portion or all of the childcare bill. What we have on the screen right now is our resources. You're probably already familiar with our website. at michigan.gov/childcare. We have many, many resources to help providers, both licensed, exempt, and licensed, to help them understand how to use the CDC program. We also have our phone number on the screen, 866-990-3227. You can call that number to receive help with billing, PIN resets, payment information, and program rules questions. You can go to the next slide. What you see on the screen right now are the provider rates paid to providers who care for CDC children. This is the ongoing provider rate. At the moment, rates are even higher than this because of some temporary funding increases. But we wanted to show you the ongoing rates because this is what can be expected long-term. I want to point out the difference between group and family home, which is licensed. The base rate for an infant or toddler would be $4.50 an hour. If you are a licensed exempt provider in the green line, the base rate is $2.30 an hour. So all across each band there, you'll see that you're paid better as a licensed provider. And if you choose to participate in the quality rating program with ECIC, those rates go higher and higher. So that information is all available at our website. So we can go to the next screen, Camara. One point we wanted to make is to be assigned to a CDC child, to the provider, to make that connection. This form is required, and I'm sure you've seen it. It's the 4025 provider verification form. What we want to make sure providers understand is if they go from licensed exempt to licensed, a new 4025 would need to be submitted for each family or child, because the DHHS caseworker would need to reassign the child to your new licensed provider segment. We often see that when a provider makes that transition to licensed, they don't get switched over on the child's case, so they aren't receiving the higher reimbursement rate. So that's a form that must be submitted again. Even though your provider ID probably will not change, the caseworker needs to be notified to switch the child's assignment over to your licensed segment. So there's a lot we could talk about with the CDC program. So if you have questions or want to talk about that, we can meet in the breakout room.
So I appreciate you all being able to take advantage of this opportunity, log on with us today, spending your Saturday morning with us, and just really taking the time to invest in your own future and your own foundation to possibly join this journey of being a licensed child care provider. This job is not easy. It's tough, it's hard, it's a lot of pieces to it, but we appreciate you all for wanting to take that step and to help continue to make Michigan kids great.